This is titled Blessed by Delay. It's a story about a hot summer morning in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the year 2000. We had to stay overnight at a hotel just a few blocks from Children's Hospital when Shane was receiving chemotherapy for his Hodgkin's lymphoma. He'd been too sick the night before to travel the 2.5 hours home. When we stopped at the desk to check out, we were told by the manager that a huge race was going on through the main street in town, and until it was finished, we wouldn't get out of the city. Usually, he added, it lasts a few hours. And ashamedly, I admit, I was immediately discouraged, thinking what a problem this race was going to be, because it meant that we were going to be delayed in our plans going home. For a minute or two, we stood there looking at each other, shrugging our shoulders, and we thought, hey, we might as well go out and take a closer look. In all reality, we had no other options. So we left the building, headed toward the main street, where surprisingly we saw that hundreds of people had lined both sides of the road. It was amazing. And I would have to say that Scott and I were utterly astounded by the scene. Some people were sitting in chairs, others were standing, but what impressed me the most was the overwhelming sound of the people cheering. Scott and I just looked at each other and smiled, not really fully understanding yet what was going on. And then we noticed that even Shane seemed to be intrigued with the moment. And within moments, the three of us on the sidewalk were completely awestruck, observing the crowd and the unbelievable energy that swelled in an instant. And to this day, I don't believe I could fully describe how emotionally spectacular and stirring the setting truly was. Never before in time had I witnessed such a display of enthusiasm. It was utterly remarkable, and I can honestly say that as the minutes passed, we found ourselves being drawn in by the surge of anticipation that was coming from the bystanders. I recall thinking to myself how absolutely incredible it was that we were there. As like thunder, the screams of the crowd began to escalate to an even higher degree. And as I turned to look down the street, I was able to finally see one of the participants rounding the bend. Standing there speechless, I immediately understood why the cheers had grown to a deafening roar. The athlete was a double-leg amputee, fighting with all his might in a chair designed for racing to conquer the street's merciless incline and dreadful heat. There he was, a portrait of perseverance as such I have never seen. God used for us that afternoon to show me what we take for granted. And as I wept, thanking God for the inconvenience He had used to change my attitude forever, witnessing the courage and determination in each of the competitors helped us endure the months and years we spent at Children's Hospital while Shane received chemo and radiation for his cancer. All these years later, I still pray for those who raced that day and those who will compete thereafter. The Lord cleverly used that so-called delay to unveil for me examples of true perseverance, determine, and triumph. And that is why I wrote the verse, thank God for those who persevere in spite of the problems they face. Triumph, they show us, is not in the prize, but in how you conquer the race. Let this be a reminder to never give up. Wisdom and blessings may come in different forms. know that you, in persevering, are to someone that you may not even understand or know. You are an example to them every day to keep on keeping on to the glory of God. Amen. Love to you and yours.